Hey everyone, it's Jessie back sharing more of my debt journey with you all. So last time I left off was in March, and at that time I had estimated that by July I would have all of my non-student loan debt paid. And I'm thrilled to say that I'm ahead of schedule on that. I just paid my last car payment on June 16th. So that was a huge goal for me. I'm very excited. And had you told me in November that I would be able to pay almost $21,000 in just 8 months, I would not have believed you. I would not have thought that it was true or that I could do that or that I had the money or the resources to do so. So it's very much driven home the concept to me that if you want to do something and you keep your mind to it, then you can achieve it. And I know that's corny, it's kind of cliche, but it's true. And whether your goal is to pay debt or lose weight or anything else, if you have a plan for your goal and you stay consistent and dedicated, then you will achieve it. And those are two of the most important things really when going through any kind of goal, is just the consistency and the dedication. And then of course, my budget has been very important as well. So the budget, some people were asking how I've done it. As I mentioned in my other videos, I've been following Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover and the debt snowball plan. So that has you starting with the smallest debt and then working your way up to the largest debt. So in the beginning, in November, I had $450 on a small student loan. I had $600 on a bank credit card. I had over $1,000 to pay for my laptop. I had $9,200 on my car, and I had $9,400 left to pay on a Capital One credit card that had some medical expenses and things on there. I don't usually carry balances that high, but I had a decent amount of non-student loan debt to pay before I began really focusing on that. So of course it could definitely feel overwhelming. Again, you have to keep positive, keep consistent, and then making sure that you are sticking to the budget. So the way that I do my budget is probably different than 90% of the people out there because I am commission only. So if you're earning an hourly rate or a salary, then you know what to expect every week or every 2 weeks or every month, and you really can create a very exact budget. Before I started this journey, I didn't even think that I could be on a budget at all. So if you are in commission only sales, this might be helpful for you to start kind of trying to put together a budget and a way to pay off debts. So before I go over my budget, I do want to warn, this is no fancy technique. This is no magic tips or tricks. It's not very high tech. I know there's some great apps and things like that out there. You could do spreadsheets on a computer and things like that. But again, I'm very old school. So I like to just use paper and pen, and I like to cross things out. So I do my budgeting just in a notebook. I make sure I list the most important things first because, again, being commission only, you're not sure exactly how much you're going to be bringing in. So it's important to list the things that you need and then things that you might be able to have some wiggle room on. So I have, of course, rent on there. That's important to have a place to sleep. My student loan payments, of course, you have to keep current on those and make sure you're paying the minimum. Also, my insurances. So those are very important. Car insurance, life insurance. I would not want my families to be burdened with any of my debts if there were anything to happen to me. Disability insurance, of course. If I were to get injured or not be able to work for some reason for just 2 weeks or for 2 paychecks, I would be in a crisis. And that is the case for many other people. I've worked in sales for 6 years now, and I've talked to everybody from living in trailer parks and they take the bus all the way up to people in mansions that appear to be rich, and they're all living paycheck to paycheck, and it's just 1 or 2 paychecks away that put you in a crisis. So again, I really think it is important to have the insurances on there. Those are a priority. And then of course the gym, you have to take care of yourself, and you need gas for your car, and of course food to eat every month. So those are my top priorities that I put on my budget. And then there's other things that I put on there that if I have the money, I will budget for, but if I don't, they could kind of be taken back. So it's very important for me, I believe, to budget for my car. I'm done paying for it, but of course, there's always going to be maintenance on your car. Even if you have a newer car, you should be saving for maintenance on your vehicle so that you're not going and spending your bill money or putting any car expenses on a credit card or something like that. So I try to budget at least $50 a month for that so that you're not doing those things. And then of course the drugstore, there's just some things that you need to get month after month at the drugstore. You need soaps and shampoos and things like that. However, if you don't get the income that you thought you would, that's something that you could easily kind of wiggle around. And then of course recreation. I think that's also very important because if you're just budgeting for your bills and debt and that's it, you'll fail eventually. It's not realistic to only pay bills and not do anything else. So I make sure that I put a little bit in there just to have fun every once in a while. Of course, you're going to be cutting back on things and trying to find, more inexpensive ways of doing things, but still put a little bit in there for yourself if you just want to go out to eat or have a drink with a friend or go to the movies or something like that. So all in all, my total budget comes to about $1,800 a month, and any cent I make over that amount will go towards my debt. So I've been able to put some pretty large sums towards the debt, and that's definitely helped me to pay down so fast. And I can always do so feeling comfortable because the way that I've structured it is whenever I get my first check of the month, that is the money I use for the bills for the following month. So anything left that you make outside of that amount needed for the bills is money towards your debt, and any other paychecks or monies that you're earning throughout the rest of the month is also money that's going to be going to your debt. And then, of course, it's very important to have a $1,000 emergency fund. So that is very important, especially if you're going to be throwing these larger sums towards your debt and you're not saving. You need to have that emergency fund of $1,000 just in case anything would happen. And that's actually my next goal, is to save up a 6-month emergency fund now that I've paid off a decent amount of debt and all I have left is the student loans. I'm going to kind of restructure my goals. My original goal was to just kind of knock all of the debts out, including the student loans, and then build up that emergency fund. But I've learned so much throughout this journey about finances, budgeting, money, just kind of as a subject overall. And I think it's very important, again, to have that 6-month emergency fund. Even if you have the insurances like I do, they don't usually kick in until about 3 or 6 months anyway. So you may find yourself in a position where you need to fend for yourself for 3 to 6 months with no income. So by September, the next time I update, I will have the 6 months in there. And then I also wanted to just end this on a positive note, guys. I've been in many different circumstances and situations, and I've been in many different mindsets about this debt and student loans and all of that. And I know what it's like to feel down and to be drowning by this and feeling like there's no escape. And I just want anyone out there that's also struggling with their debt to know that there is a way out, and it really just starts with your mindset. Your thoughts do truly become your actions, and there's no way to change your circumstances unless you change your thoughts. So I do want to be able to help anybody that is going through this. If you have any questions or comments or anything that you want to share with me, you can directly contact me on my website on studentdollarsmakingsense.org. I'd be happy to answer anything on there. This is truly the reason I started this entire journey, was really just to be able to help other people. And if you have any questions, please contact me on there. So please go ahead, share, comment, like this video, and let me know if you have any questions and I could help. Thank you, guys.